Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Zee Garcia. What's happening, folks?
Why did you press the mute on the microphone?
I did not.
Okay.
It might have when it hinged. It might have hit it.
Okay. No, it's my fault. Okay. Anyhow, welcome to the show.
Sure.
No, we're about to go to Origins, and it's hard to read any questions because there's a delay in this, and everyone's saying that there's no sound, which of course there wasn't. However, hopefully there is sound now. But anyhow,
okay, yes, good.
I totally forgot what we're going to Origins.
We are going to Origins, so we're packing and such.
So Origins questions have priority over anything else. But anyhow.
And if anybody can figure out what we said before you heard us, then you get a cookie. We will give you a small clap.
All right. So, some questions here. Pretend board games don't exist.
Ah!
What other hobby would entertain you the most?
If you could have heard what we were just talking about while muted, you would know.
Did you answer that while I was muted? I was too busy noticing it was muted.
No, we talked about video games. I said,
oh yeah.
You said we were packing, and I said that I was running on very little sleep. And
I guess it would be video games for me. I do like video games, but I think I'd be like annoyed. I mean, it's just not a very people-friendly thing. I like playing video games, but I'm in my own little solitaire world.
Right.
I'd probably be heavily in an online game, I would guess, if I didn't play board games. I'd probably find some online game and just really get involved in it.
Man, I don't know, because I really don't like online video gaming. Like MMOs, I've never gotten into that stuff. Or even just playing over, Xbox Live or one of those things. So, I think I might be like a hipster movie guy. And just talk about a lot of movies you've never seen and be that guy.
Are we excited for the musical episode? Well, actually, we've been talking a lot today about different songs. We have some ideas. We'll see. Did I play Montagne at the Gathering? I did. Montagne feels...
I think it's Motainai.
Motainai?
Thanks. That's how they said it on the Kickstarter, I think.
Okay. I wish people would name their games like... Okay, I was about to say something simple, but then there is a game called The Game.
Yeah, which I've been hating on that name, too, but...
Anyway, Motainai, it feels like Orderum. It really does. But it's like Orderum that works best with 2 or 3 players, maybe. I wasn't thrilled by my first playing because I got absolutely massacred by my opponent.
Where did you play this?
At the Gathering.
Oh, okay.
And like a guy had this huge combo like, oh, and I'm going to do this. What are you going to do for your action? I'm going to draw a card.
Pass.
Yeah. And so...
How come we're still not seeing our own feed? That's weird.
It is weird.
Can we just refresh that?
We will refresh it. But problematically, though, I can't review a game based on me not having a good time or getting beat up in the game. So I don't know. I might like it more and stuff. I usually don't allow whether I get beat up in a game, but this one I just got massacred in. So I want to play it some more and see if I can come back.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do some questions.
All right. How would you describe the hobby to someone who has only heard of Monopoly and Battleship in such a way to make it sound as fun and exciting as modern board games can be?
Well, for me, I actually avoid what I think most people do, which is most people, what they say to folks who are not into gaming is they say, no, it's not like those games at all. These games are much more strategic. They have much more going on, and I think that's actually intimidating to a lot of people when you put it across that way. So what I say is, when they say, oh, is it like Monopoly? Is it like whatever? I say, yeah, basically, but it's a little bit more engaging. You want to kind of tackle it from that angle. Don't make it sound necessarily that it's more taxing. It might be, but that's sort of like an added bonus. You know what I mean? It's about, they're more fun. It's not that they're harder and more complicated and more like, they're more fun for the amount of time you're going to be playing. So that's how I tackle it. What do you do?
For me, it's easy to say, like, well, it's better than Monopoly Life, but I don't do that. What I do normally, in fact, I just did this yesterday with someone, as I said, most games are some movie, the game. I said, those are usually pretty bad. And that doesn't get anyone upset, right?
Right.
No one's sitting around going, I liked Armageddon the game, or,
Right.
So, and I'll say there's a lot of games out there that you may not have heard of. There's exciting games, and I'd like to show them to you sometime, but, you'd have to kind of see them to see how it worked. And that's really how I explain it. And usually I feel them out, and usually I found that people have heard of Settlers, or of a party game or something, and I'll say, yeah, they're kind of like that. Find some common ground to compare
Yeah,
to.
that's a good idea.
All right. How do you decide which games each of you review?
It depends on what we like, actually. I think largely.
Yeah.
Not always, right? This is not a hard and fast rule, but like, if it's a little card game that's light and seems simple, I might tackle that one. If it's like a big component-heavy Amerithrash kind of game, Tom might tackle that one. And again, I'm saying might because it's not a hard and fast rule.
It's not. But how do we decide actually? I just decide, kind of. One way to say, this one's for you, this one's for me. Or I say, are you interested in this one? And if he is, go ahead. But there are some games I claim when they show up. Like, I'm reviewing this one.
And there's some you just hand down also, like, I need you to do this. Yeah, that's true too, right?
And if it's Flux, Eric.
Yeah.
Eric is the reviewer.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Is that a mosquito?
I don't know what that was. Something flew by me. I wanted to make sure it wasn't in my head, though, because I am on sleep deprivation.
All right. The best memories at Origin Story. We'll save it for another time, mostly because Zee has not been there yet.
This one time, I was really excited to go to Origins, but I hadn't slept much. And I started to imagine mosquitoes flying about my head. It was not very memorable.
When was the last time you played regular Monopoly?
I was in high school.
Really? It was that long ago?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was about 7 years ago. And it wasn't even regular Monopoly. It was one of the themed versions of Monopoly, but it's essentially the same. And so it was like one of the military branches version of Monopoly. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Navy or...
U.S. Navy Monopoly, that kind of thing?
Yes. And so a guy brought it, and I was like, all right, I want to play with the regular rules of Monopoly, and I still didn't like it. Didn't hate it, but I wasn't, overly fond of it.
Yeah.
Chris has a good question here. He went to the Denver Comic Con, and the board game section was there, but not that great. Do you think that it will be on the rise on the Comic Con circuit? Whenever you have a convention that involves multiple things, something always will dominate, usually.
Right.
Even Gen Con and Origins are RPGs, board games, miniatures, so that's why when people go to things like Board Game Geek or Dice Tower and things where it's all board games,
right,
people like those better because it's all board games.
Yeah, if you're just into board games, yeah.
So Comic Cons, many people go there. They're not interested in board games at all, but they are interested in comics, so it's not like you're going to see a huge thriving. Now everyone says Dragon Con has a big one. I don't know. I've not been to Dragon Con, but at the same time, Dragon Con is huge.
Where is that one?
Atlanta.
That's right.
So I don't know that it will be on the rise. I think you'll see it just because board gaming is growing.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot more crossover now with IPs being taken from comics and such things. So that's going to lead to more of that cross-pollination.
What do you most... Oh, do you think there should be a second Willow movie? That's an interesting question. I was just...
There's a joke about that on that show. On that show that the... what was that show called? Little People or whatever it's called. And it's about that guy from Willow, the actor from Willow, having like an agency, he's an agent. And Val Kilmer comes and sees him. He's like, we're going to do number 2. I don't want to spoil it, but that show is pretty good. I think they only made a few episodes, but look it up. I think it's called Little People or something like that. And they talked about Willow too. It's a funny bit.
I wouldn't mind seeing Willow too, but it would be really weird because the special effects would be light years difference.
It's been a while too, huh?
Wasn't Willow an 80s movie?
I think so.
Yeah. But it was no Kung Fury.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't quite Kung Fury.
All right. Anyway, should it be a second movie? Why not?
Yes.
What are you most looking for to Origins apart from people?
There's a couple of promos I want to get while I'm there. That's so lame.
For me, it's food. It's people, food. Games is third. And that's really the truth.
No, I mean, I'm going for my first time. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I guess I'm going... The thing I'm more excited about is just sort of checking the whole thing out, seeing what it's like.
I like games, but the games are here. So when I go to a convention, I'm looking for something that's there that's not here. So the games are there, too. That's great. But there's people there, and then there's the food that I don't have here.
Yeah.
That's pretty dumb, but it's true. I don't play AIs usually. And there we just jumped down to 700 questions. All right. Z, did you see the new Mad Max?
Yes, I did.
And?
Oh, that's not what the question is. Just asking me if I saw. No, I thought it was awesome. It's a blast. It's what did I say? It's like injecting gasoline into your veins, I think is how I put it. Something like that. Yeah, it's.
We all came out and we had to eat when we came out because if we had driven directly after coming out, we might have killed people.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite character?
That's your favorite character, I'm pretty sure. You were just howling. He was howling with laughter.
Oh, your favorite was the Bullet Farmer.
The Bullet Farmer was pretty epic. I like that guy.
All right. What happens in the monthly episodes you two used to do?
Monthly episodes?
Are you talking about Gaming Potpourri? That was like way back in the day.
Wow, that's a throwback.
Well, I mean,
I don't think that could not possibly be what they're talking about. No way.
Yeah, I think that's what they're talking about. What else? What other monthly episodes did we do?
I don't think this person watches the Dice Tower. I think it's what's going on.
Okay, anyhow, those
evolved into the top 10 very quickly.
Because that's what we started doing it, and then he did one about trick-taking games. I remember that, and I was like, oh, we could just do lists of games.
Yeah.
Wait, I already do top 10s on the audio. I can do them on the video.
Yeah, I mutated to that. Right. And if we still did those today, they would be absorbed into Breakfast and Blender anyway, really.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah, there's no reason for us to do a show. And then this, too. So really...
It's sort of broken. It sort of went into a few different things.
That's right. All right. Is that the Blue Angel again? All right. Apart from you loving the games, what are the other criteria for the Dice Tower Essentials? That is the number one. I have to love the game. But, I mean, honestly, we have to think it's going to sell. If I love a game, but it probably won't sell, that's not worth it. It has to be production thing. But, I mean, really, that's it. If we think the game will sell, and I really love it, why not print it? Also, we need the rights.
That's important. What else we got? Thanks for the blend episode on traveling with games. Were there any suggestions from the contributors that you, Z, with your background in theater, will be utilizing when you go to Origins? I'm taking a few games with me, largely because I'm going to be playing some games there with people who requested to play a couple of games I have that they haven't had a chance to play, might be harder to find. But they're not necessarily games that I would say, oh, you want to travel with these. These are kind of esoteric things I just happen to be bringing because, again, they haven't seen them.
We're not really traveling light anyway.
Right.
We're taking a lot of stuff because we're going to have promos there and Dice Towers and Dice Tower signs and tablecloths and all that jazz.
This is a great question. I've heard of teaching a chicken to play checkers. Do you think I can teach my dog to play Cthulhu Wars?
Well...
Next. Z, have you gotten Tom to play Wiracocha yet? Well, you haven't played.
No. You even brought it over.
Yeah, actually, right, because we have so much time to sit and play games, yeah.
That's all we do all day is play games. Really, people ask us, but like when we're working during the day, I think the most we play is maybe a game a week, maybe.
We played a game a week or two ago here while working, right? Not at night at a game get-together. or on the weekend, which is for that, for playing games. But while we're here working, I think we played one game, I want to say either, not this Friday, but the one before that. It's not very frequent anyway. Which designer do you hang out with the most at conventions? Hang out with? I mean, I like to go around and say hi to a few people.
It depends who I'm with.
Yeah,
I've hung out a lot with Mike Fitzgerald.
Right.
I've hung out a lot with Eric Lang.
And I typically will hang out with Ignacy Chevicek.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Or I'll hang out with Piero, who's an artist, right? Or I'll hang out with Bruno Catala. People like that. They're very cool people. Just, it doesn't matter.
No, but I mean, I've been with a lot of designers. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, I've hung out with people at conventions who...
Anybody.
Yeah, right.
I hang out with them because I like those guys, not because they're designers.
I got a crew at Origins who always shows up, and we're playing fantasy. What's that race game called? I just packed it. Magical Athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Magical Athlete. It's my annual Origins nonsensical game I'm going to play, and hopefully the same guys will be there. All right. What do you think your coverage at the convention will be like? There's no thinking. I know what it will be like.
And interesting.
Now, we actually have a full schedule, well, almost a full schedule of publishers that we're going to be taking a look at their games, like upcoming games, like Asmodee, what do you got coming? And Yellow, what do you have coming? And all these different companies. So that you'll see that, and then we'll probably sit down and do some stuff. We really have a full schedule. There's not tons of free time in our schedules. So you'll see, hopefully, you'll see a little bit of convention coverage this week. We'll mostly just be like, hey, we're here. This is kind of some stuff we saw.
Yeah.
But you'll see more next week.
Yeah, when we come back and we can actually edit this stuff and put it up.
Tobago is no longer my collection. It wasn't replaced by anything specific. It was replaced by a box that was the same size.
Yeah. Will there be a costume live
read
game?
the whole thing.
No. With Z's background in theater, will there be a costume live gameplay? No.
I don't think so. I dress up in costume sometimes for reviews to be silly, and I dress up in costume for the Battling Tops tournament at Board Game Geek.
That's what you want to look out for, folks. We were just talking about that a little bit ago.
This is kind of weird. We're getting a lot of questions.
I know, we're getting questions about
today.
stuff we were, I think maybe we're streaming and we don't know it. What else?
Well, that's a good question. If you could steal one of the games on my shelf, which one would it be?
Zendo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. We were just talking about Zendo on the show. All right. So I don't have any house rules for Cosmic Encounter. With the exception... Okay, well, no, here's what I do for Cosmic Encounter. I never give people random aliens. I always give people 3 aliens and let them pick one. Has a gamer ever thrown things at you or destroyed your property?
What? Sam messed up one of my cards in a game once. He didn't mean to. But I'll never forget. No, I don't think so, man.
I've had stuff thrown at me, but that was when I was a kid. I don't know that I'm an adult.
That's super weird, and I really hope to never run into that issue as a grown man.
With Z being Mexican and his parents being Chinese, will he be trading?
Whoa, no. Excuse me, no.
I thought you were Chinese and your parents were Mexican.
Correct. My parents are Mexican. I'm Chinese. But anyway, will I be trading in the Mediterranean? Will I be playing Trading in the Mediterranean games at Origins?
Actually, that one just came out.
Traders of Osaka?
Yeah. But that's not in the Mediterranean.
No, not anymore, but it used to be.
Ah.
They rethemed it. But I might play that. I'd like to play it again. I really like the original. I was a big. Oh, my words are just not coming today. I like that game a lot. I talked it up a lot. Where are we?
How big a box have both of you got ready to put in all the new stuff from Origins? You might be surprised at that. I don't know that there's so many things coming out of Origins that we don't already have.
That's true.
There's some games like Bring
There's
Out
a
Your
lot
Dead.
of things that are going to be there. We're going to take a look at that are not there for us to take home with us, or anybody. That are previews of things coming. It seems like there's a lot of that. And again, I'm speaking from experience. I haven't been there.
Z-Man has a whole slate of new games,
but
we got those.
Right.
Asmodee will have a couple new games, but we have those.
Right.
Yellow has new games, but we have those. So it's not that. It sounds like so braggish. I don't mean it to be that way. But
the question is, what are we bringing back?
We
don't know.
It's not like Gen Con where I
much.
plan to bring back like a truck of stuff. But you never know.
Tom, what is your favorite sauce right now?
Either peach vanilla onion hot sauce, which I'm really enjoying, or I'm a big fan. I got this peach habanero sauce that I enjoy. But sometimes I'm in the mood for sriracha. I really have a whole pile of sauces. I love sauces. Send me a sauce.
Which, in your opinion, is the better game? Hero Quest, Advanced Hero Quest, or Warhammer Quest?
I've never actually played Warhammer Quest or Advanced Hero Quest. I've read the rules of Advanced Hero Quest.
So Hero Quest, then.
Let's see here.
You gravitate towards the stupid if I have a
background
background
No, I'm skipping that one.
Oh.
What are the odds of getting into the Dice Tower live show at Gen Con with only a generic ticket? How early should you come if you want to get in? Man, I don't know. We really did not expect the show to sell out that quickly, or even maybe at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which out-of-print game is the most overhyped? Overhyped?
Okay. Yeah, I get that. That's a great question. Let's talk about those, because I think there's some. I'm
going to say, and you're going to hate me for this,
HeroScape?
HeroScape.
No, he's a liar. How's it overhyped?
Everybody's like, oh, HeroScape is the best game ever. It's a fine game, but
super fun.
People I think lose their mind over that game nowadays because it's out of print. That's my choice anyway.
Maybe Civilization? Everyone's always yakking about how great Civilization is and hardly anyone plays it. Although one guy in our gaming group did just schedule a day of it.
Really?
Yeah, there was like 8 of them, and without knowing who was there.
Wow.
But they were people in our gaming group. Who do you think won?
Who won?
Yeah, the 7-hour Civilization game.
I don't know. Was Jason involved?
Yes, he was.
He won. If Jason was there, he won. Which is why the other day I sent out a tweet that said I beat Jason.
You did? What was that? Oh, you beat him at Elysium.
Yeah, and Sam. I beat Jason and Sam in the same game. That's a celebratory day right there.
It is. Any advice on how to start a gaming group? I would try Meetup, honestly. Meetup's a really useful thing. It's good.
I'm shallow and take note of visually rich games. Yeah, welcome to the club. Michael Manzella's great. What are games with really awesome art and designs?
I thought about making a top 10 list on this one. The only problem is I don't know how interesting that'd be. I'd be like, hey, I really like the artwork in Ghost Stories. Let's look at it.
Yeah.
But...
Well, I think I'm going to say one that for me, it is one of his. It is one of his, so you might be aware of it already. But, no, it's not Michael Manzella, it's someone else. But Madame Ching, I think, is a beautiful looking game that has kind of flown under the radar a little bit. I think people were expecting more from that game and played it maybe and thought, oh, it's just a card game. There's not much going on here. It sort of got pushed aside. But I think it's cool, and you should check it out if you like visually beautiful games.
Pillars of the Earth?
Is that even around? Can you get that anymore?
I don't know. The Abyss. I mean, you can't argue with how Abyss looks. It looks really good.
Yeah, that's true.
Seasons. I think Seasons has a good look to it.
Yeah. Those are all good. Yeah, this person was talking about Potpourri. Yeah, well, we talked about that. I don't know what that is.
Okay. Can you name games that you love but never get played for whatever reason?
Do you secretly cry because of that? That question is really more interesting.
I really love Battleground Fantasy Warfare, and I had a guy here who would play it with me. He's now moved away, so that's going to be a hard one to get to the table. I can get any game I want played, really. It's just the question of me getting around to getting it played.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's something I specifically want to get played and don't. I can probably get stuff played also. I can't think of anything like that jumps out at me as, oh man, I really want to get that played more. I want to get everything played more.
I don't understand this question, so whoever this is, if you could elaborate, FC, what benefits do you think a Kickstarter backer should receive? Oh, I'm sorry, it says verse. Never mind. I thought that said as. What benefits do you think a Kickstarter backer should receive as a future versus a future retail purchaser? I think a Kickstarter backer should get the game first.
Right.
Okay? Even if it's like a day or two early, they should get it first. I think that anything after that is up to them. They get the satisfaction of getting the game published, but other than that, it's up to the publisher. I don't think they should get half the game that everyone else can't get.
Oh, you meant the other thing around, right? That you don't think they should get a whole extra bunch of stuff that then afterwards a retail purchaser couldn't get.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's like alternate artwork cards. I don't mind if they get thanked in the rule book or whatever.
Right. If you get something cool and unique and special, I think one neat thing that a lot of games do, and this is interesting, is do an alternate cover for a game.
Oh, that is cool.
That's cool, and it's going to feel good to have a game that is limited edition, right? That's neat, but it's just something like that. It's not functional. It's not you have stuff in the game which makes the game function differently than what I can buy later on.
All right, let's see here.
I'm gonna do that later.
Burger King fries versus McDonald's fries.
No idea. Oh, I like Checkers fries.
Wendy's fries, actually. All right, where are we? Okay.
We're getting a viewer from Slovakia.
Will I be taking revenge on Rodney Smith in Forbidden Stars at Origins? Probably not. I am debating on bringing Forbidden Stars to Origins because it takes up a lot of room. But I thought about if I brought it, maybe some people might want to get to play it. I don't know that I would play it because it's a fairly lengthy game. I'll teach it, though. So, if I bring it. Do you think I'm going to bring it?
Yes.
It looks like there's room for it.
You're going to bring it.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I have to decide in the next couple hours. When I see unproductive comments against your contributors, I feel protective. How do you handle it?
Doesn't let it bother me.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it bothers me a little bit. I mean, I don't like when people say if it's a rude thing like trollish or
if someone's a jerk, they're a jerk. You delete that
I
comment
delete
and you move
comments,
on. I mean,
right?
What can you do?
If it's like I hate their segment, that's not being, that is what it is. I certainly read all the comments. I certainly think about them. I say, okay, this person, a lot of people don't like this segment. What should we do about that? What can we do to improve? But I don't want to come down on them because for every person who says negative things, there are people who do like things. People who like specific segments don't often say that. And I would recommend that you do. If you like a particular segment on one of those two shows, say you like it.
Yeah.
Because some of those people have told me that no one ever mentions their segment. They don't know if people like it or not.
Right.
And we could run a survey, but surveys make you feel bad because let's say we ran a survey like, who do you like better in Dice Tower, Tom or Zee? That's going to make somebody feel bad.
Right, sure. I mean, Tom can't handle that. So, no, I think ultimately the way I think about comments on videos and Blender or whatever it may be is everybody that says something is an outlier, really, ultimately. Either in one extreme or the other. It's either a negative comment and they felt passionate enough to actually write something, or it's a positive comment and again they felt passionate enough to write something. But there's this whole group in the middle, the unspoken group that I think enjoyed it, and would have a strong reaction and say something if they didn't. You know what I mean? And so I'm content with that. I'm okay if 1,000 people watch something and 50 say, "Oh, this wasn't very good." I feel pretty good that the other 950 probably thought it was okay at least.
Yeah, and you can always tell by the thumbs and things. We'll see. I mean, like I said, if you like something, say it every once in a while. Those people would appreciate it, I think.
Right.
Do either of you speak a second language? Have you picked up Spanish from your Mexican parents?
Sí, un poquito the Spanish. I'm not. I mean, clearly my Chinese is much better. My Cantonese.
I don't actually speak a second language. I took Spanish in high school and college, and I picked up chunks of Korean in Korea, but not enough to do anything. I'm probably better in Spanish than in Korean,
and that's awful. So no.
You don't know what my Spanish is like because I don't use it. I just listen to when people
judge. No, I do speak Spanish. Yes.
What game is the best box insert in your opinion? Ooh,
that's a good question. Actually, okay, I'm going to mention two that I think have really cool inserts. Elysium has a really cool insert because the whole insert, if you're looking at it from the top down, looks like the front of the building. You know, it's a really cool insert. And the other one I just saw, I haven't even played yet, but we just saw it, and I mentioned it. In fact, when I saw the insert was for Cacao, the Z-Man game.
Oh yeah.
That is such a cool insert. It has spots for everything to the point that it has a spot for each player's meeple. Each player only has one, but it has a spot for the meeple shaped like the meeple. I mean, it's wild. I think that's cool. What about you?
I'm gonna forget some now. I mean, because there's some that I'm gonna miss. Man,
yeah, it's a hard thing.
Days of Wonder always did good inserts.
Yeah.
For all their games, Coliseum has a pretty good
insert. Yeah, they do.
And Pillars of the Earth
is a good insert.
I like Pillars of the Earth insert.
Yeah.
Man, I get rid of a lot of inserts, so I'm not always. I used to like this Lords of Waterdeep insert, but it got more annoying as time went by to pull out the different money pieces.
That looked like.
So.
All right. What do we got here?
I have not seen Thunderbirds. Oh, here's a good one. What are your two favorite factions to play from Nirishima Hex?
My favorite is the Steel Police. And my second favorite is the Outpost, one of the originals.
I like the Green faction.
That's the Outpost.
Is it? Okay. And I like the faction that has a lot of stuff that amplifies other things.
I don't know what that is.
Like, it was like one big machine, like one living organism.
Doomsday?
I don't remember. But they didn't ask me anyway, so
or
who
the
cares?
Biojungle.
I don't remember.
No.
All-time favorite box cover. I'm a really big fan. I've been gushing over the new New York 1901 box cover. I really have been liking that.
That's very beautiful.
Abyss has that stark alien alien creature like thing looking at you.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to talk about box covers we hate.
It really
I
is.
really do like the new box cover from Scythe. Really pumped about the art in that game. Have you seen Scythe?
I've seen it. I don't know what it looks like though.
It's like a Russian background, like from the early 1900s, and then there's mechs walking across like snow-covered fields. It's really cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Wow, there's so many games behind me here. As I look at these, and there's like, oh, that's a great game, but wow, terrible box cover.
There's a lot of good.
There's a lot of bad, but there's a lot of bad box covers too. Looking at these, there's okay ones. I'm trying to think of ones that stand out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like a lot of the games that have a unique or very interesting cover, like Abyss, Tom said. I really like the cover for
I guess I'm going to be.
What's that guessing game that's all white and just has a big question mark?
Concept.
It's just a cool cover. I mean, I like that kind of thing. Really stands out.
I'm going to say, I mean, somewhat self-serving, but I've always liked the cover for Nothing Personal. Could you promise to do something bizarre when you reach 100,000 subscribers, which will be very soon? If you have no idea, we can help you. We can always think of bizarre things. I don't know that I want to. What would be the point?
I don't know. I guess we could do a little something. We'll mention it at least, right?
Z, how do you find time to work with Tom and manage Z-Man games at the same time?
Well, what ended up happening was I actually sold Z-Man games to a good friend of mine, whose name actually is Zev. And he had it for a while. He did great work with it. And then he himself sort of pulled out of that. And then the company is largely now run by Philosophia.
F2Z.
F2Z, right? And so...
Z never had anything to do with the game company.
I played their games, though.
Here's a good question. Do you feel like Quinted Games is making a comeback with the new titles and reprints in a partnership with Stronghold? If you haven't heard, Stronghold just announced they're going to be reprinting that Civilization one that I forgot the name of now. The Euro Civilization game, you liked it.
Stronghold? Oh, the New
Quinted
Age
Games.
or something Age. Yeah, I know the one. Golden Age.
The Golden Age, right.
Yeah.
So Stronghold's going to be printing that one. And
Okay.
you liked that one.
I did. I liked it a lot, actually, more than I thought I would.
And Quinted Games is really making a comeback in that regard. They came out with that Warlock, which I really liked. And
I think it's hard for me to tell if Quinted Games is making a comeback because they move at such a slow pace that it's hard to know that they were missing. You know what I mean?
Well, it's really weird because they announced this. They just announced, we're doing our 10th anniversary. And I was like, didn't even know you guys were around 10 years. Because for a long time, they were just making those fancy versions, the Kalis and
right.
things
the
like
golden,
that.
what were those called? The master print.
Right, and I knew about those. I just didn't care about them.
So, I don't know. I'm not quite excited about that whole thing yet. I think when the games start to come out, and if they do make a bigger splash, and they're more of a presence, then, yeah, sure. I think they're a good company.
Will we be attending Cool Mini or Not Expo this year? I would have loved to, but it is the week directly before Dice Tower Con. It'd be really bad for us to go to Origins, come back for 1 week, and then go to 2 conventions in a row. We actually do have to work. Yeah, I don't know. You think you'd be tired?
Yeah.
You're pretty tired. We're pretty tired after one convention.
Yeah.
We always need like some downtime.
Because we have to come back and
this is already we're already feeling like, hey, we're coming back from Origins in 1, 2 Dice Tower Con, and then only 4 weeks before Gen Con.
Yeah.
But we will be spending most of those 4 weeks prepping for Gen Con.
Yeah, we'll be busy. We'll be busy for sure.
But I would like to. It was very fun. What's a good game to replace Risk? You have some friends who love Risk.
I always say Nexus Ops.
Yeah, really. If you can get Nexus Ops, and I think it's pretty readily available.
Yeah. Since Fantasy Flight reprinted it, you can even get it on the cheap, I think.
How about a live play of Fortress America? Possibly. What's the longest single session of a single game that you have ever played?
I played No Thanks once with a couple of AP players, and that took about 3 hours.
No.
No,
You're
I'm
lying.
kidding. I don't know. Single longest game I've played.
The single longest game I played was a Sid Meier Civilization. Not the Fantasy Flight one, but the original one.
I got one. Okay.
I played that one over 3 days, and I think it was like 4 hours each day, so like 12 hours total.
Yeah, but they're talking about in a single
In a single
sit
session,
down.
I played a 9-hour game of Twilight.
Okay, the longest game I've ever played was a game of StarCraft that went for 7 hours with a single sit.
Were you annoyed by the end of
Oh,
it?
I was ready to flip the table.
Did you win?
No.
Was Jason involved? You didn't know
No, this
Jason
was
at
a
the
while
time.
ago. I don't think I knew him. Yeah.
Alright, let's see here.
I'm a fan of games like Descent and Imperial Assault. Not necessarily. I do like. I like my dungeon crawl games to be a little shorter, to be a little simpler. I like the ones like Claustrophobia. They're a little more condensed. I'm not necessarily a big fan of the sprawling thing.
This is a good question, and I actually want to address this. Someone says, how about doing something similar to Suzanne, one of the contributors to our show? How many card games can you get into a big box, deck box?
Oh, and she just talked about this on Blunder.
I actually don't like this. I don't care if you do it. You, anyone, Suzanne. I don't like doing it because I actually like seeing the boxes for all the different games. Mm-hmm. Now, I have some of these. Where are they? I have a few of these things here. They're clear boxes, and I have 3 games in them. Well, these are 2 start player things. And then this is the Pocket Rockets. You ever play that?
Yeah.
It's a good little game. Okay.
Love it.
And so sometimes I'll do that, but you can see all 3 of them very clearly. I have them. Sometimes I cut out the cover of the box and put it on top so you know what the games are.
Yeah.
That's the most I'll do. I'll take some games and put them in a big white box, but I hate putting multiple games in a box because I'll forget they're there. When I go to a convention or wherever, and I'm like, oh, okay, which games are... It just feels smushed to me.
Yeah. A long time ago,
That's just me, though. I'm not saying it's wrong to do. That's just why I won't do it.
I know a long time ago, this was many years ago, I actually went through a phase where I was hitting that edge of, okay, I don't have the capacity to start keeping all these things. And so I decided to, games that had a lot of room in the box versus what was in there, I was going to consolidate that stuff and get rid of the box. And I did it to maybe 10 or 12 games. And I kept them in one single box. In fact, people asked me about this the other day on something. They said, how come you have the box for the Ghost Stories expansion way over here and the games over there? I'm like, actually, what's in there is just random card games and such. But I've regretted almost every single one of those boxes I threw away because I forget about them. I don't get to see the box anymore. And so the game doesn't hit the table as much as I would want it to. They're good games. I mean, I kept them for a reason. But they just don't come out. I forget I have them. I want to look at the boxes and be reminded of what I have, and that doesn't help me.
Z started culling more often now. You're not culling as much as me, but you're getting close.
Well, I have to, yeah.
So it's interesting to see the games come in and out. Elysium, 2-player game. Would you recommend it?
Did I play that with you 2-player or someone else 2-player?
I definitely played it 2-player.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I played 2-player also. I just forget if I did it with you. I liked it fine. I thought the fact that the 2-color thing, you could pick either one of the 2 colors for that spot, first or second place, was as solid. It felt fine. I really liked the game. I'm a big fan of it. 2 players is good.
Yeah, it does work really well with 2 players. Will you guys sit down and play games with random people at conventions if you have time for it? I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah.
I just don't schedule them. People email me and say, can I play a game with you? No, I mean, if we happen to be in the same place and I'm in a mood to play a game and we're there, sure.
Where are we at?
Are Summoner Wars dice worth it? They're really expensive, but I want them.
Do you have dice just for that game? I don't think I've seen those. What do they look like? Oh, really? Good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Huh? What?
No, they're like, they're custom dice. I think one of the sides is the symbol of each faction. So you can buy them for each faction. You have dice for Summoner Wars.
Got it.
And so you hit on the 3 or higher or whatever, and I replace, I think, the 6 side with
That's
the symbol
it, but
of that
the other
faction.
sides are just pips?
Yeah, I don't... Yeah, I think they're pips, and I think they're really... I mean, they're Chessex dice that are nice quality.
Got it.
I like them, but it's a high expense. I just haven't done that. Is it too much that guy behavior to go around on conventions and talk to published game designers about your game ideas? It is not. That is actually the best place to do it. But respect them, please. You can go up to them and ask them, and they'll probably say, I have some time here to talk to you. Although your best bet's to email them ahead of time and set that up. So then do that. Don't take their time. Have your pitch ready and have it short. And don't be upset if they're not interested in your game. But it's a great time and place to do it at a convention.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good question. I'm arguing with a friend about how small are the publishers like Plaid Hat Games and Stronghold. Do you know how big or small they are? Are there a lot of people working or just a few?
And that's from Warfield Reviews. I saw those guys at Essen last year, and they're very cool. Took a picture with them and such. So, hey.
With the exception of Asmodee and Fantasy Flight and AEG probably now, almost all the publishers we talk about are
everybody else
small.
Is small, yeah.
Stronghold Games has 1 employee. Plaid Hat has, I think, 3 or something like that. That's small. I mean, everyone always talks about, and I already did the rant on this in Board Game Breakfast, but this whole, well, we want to help the independent game publishers. They're all independent. I mean, really, F2Z's bigger.
Right,
They want you on Z-Man.
Sure.
And Wizards of the Coast. Okay, there's several big ones, but there's lots and lots of small companies. Days of Wonder is pretty small. They publish big games, and now they're owned by Asmodee. Right. But until that point, they were a small company. Watzapalag, Space Cowboys are small companies. Queen. Everyone thinks Queen's this big company. They're small. Rio Grande has a few employees.
Right.
Mayfair's big. But Most of these companies are small. Will you ever do a live play with your wife? I think she would hate that. I'll ask her. But she's going to hate the idea. But I'll ask her.
I love how every now and then there's just a completely off the wall.
No, I like these questions.
Best flavor of ice cream.
If you're talking about just straight normal flavors, cookie dough. Easy answer for me. Love cookie dough.
What? Okay, if cookie dough is a straight normal flavor, what if we ask you for the wild outside the box flavors?
Well, they used to make a good black winter white chocolate flavor that Baskin Robbins used to make. I really enjoyed that one.
Is that any weirder than? Well, I don't know.
Cookie dough is a straight flavor. Come on.
Anyway,
now.
my favorite is rum raisin.
And I am so excited because we're going to Origins, and Origins has Jenny's at the North Market, which in my opinion is the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. I haven't even had a close second.
Ooh.
That's how much I like that ice cream.
Okay.
And because of my tooth, I have to eat ice cream.
It was very hilarious to see him just basically jonesing for ice cream after the whole tooth scenario. That was the only thing.
No.
It was like your main drive was ice cream.
I went to the dentist this Friday for a follow-up,
And that was
I
his first
asked
question.
him to write me a prescription for ice cream to show my wife. And he said, what flavor?
No, he did not.
No, he did.
That's a great guy. It's hilarious.
But he didn't actually write the prescription.
Of course, but
Why not?
come on now, it's ice cream. Be a man, just tell her.
All right, if you could go anywhere in the world where you haven't been before, where would you go? Oh, there's so many places I want to go
I want to
to.
go to Tokyo for that game fair, especially.
Taking gaming out of the equation, I've always wanted to go to Australia, and I would love to go to England. Those are two countries I haven't been to that I'd love to go to. But, I mean, there's more. I'd love to go to Moscow. I'd like to go to Africa, the countries in Africa. I'd love to go to Chad. I'd love to go to Madagascar. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anywhere I haven't been. I'm always interested to go somewhere at least once. What did Will Wheaton think of Nothing Personal after playing it? He enjoyed it. So that was nice of him. Chick-fil-A or Wendy's?
I like Wendy's better.
Probably Wendy's because you can get chicken at Wendy's and you can't get burgers at Chick-fil-A. But Chick-fil-A does make the waffle fries, which are pretty good.
Yeah, those are good.
No, those are the best fries. Chick-fil-A's waffle fries. Going back, have you played Lords of War? Great two-player short tactical game akin to Summoner Wars. If you mean an unfun two-player short tactical game, then yes, I play Lords of War.
I don't think I played that.
All right, let's see here. Will there be a Dice Tower live show in Essen? We said so. Not as easy as I thought to get that set up, but I'm working on it.
We'll figure something out.
Tom, what are your best characters in HeroEscape? You're very fortunate that I've done a top 10 list on that, so check it out. Will I change Board Game Breakfast format, or is it in its definitive form? Everything always evolves. I'm always looking for new segments for Board Game Breakfast or Board Game Blender. Always looking for new things to add because people do drop off and drop out.
Yeah.
Nothing is forever. No one has to do these shows. Well, Z does. But no one else has to do it. So
No, but we like to feel free enough to change it up if we want to. Yeah.
Right.
This is a funny question. Z, are you officially sponsored by Life is Good? I probably should be at this point. I should just call them up and tell them, hey, look, people are getting to the point that they're asking me. Hook it up with a couple of shirts. No, I just really like their brand. They're just good, comfortable clothing, I guess.
Would you ever come to the UK Games Expo? Yeah, I would. In fact, I'd love to go there. They just had that, and I've heard many good things about it.
Yeah.
It's just quite expensive for us to fly across the ocean, and this year would have been really difficult because of its proximity to Origins.
Right.
Again, we can only go to so many, and we're starting to spread out. Like Z and Sam are going to a convention in Texas that I'm not going to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Z are going to a convention that Eric won't be at. I mean, there's going to be different people going to different conventions, and I'd love to send my guys all over the place. We'd love to have a guy at a person at every convention, but just not always possible.
Right.
Let's see here. Z as an actor.
Somebody just showed me some love. Go back.
No, they would have said they like our show.
Yeah.
Z, as an actor, what is the play you enjoyed the most?
Which is the play you've enjoyed the most?
Yes.
Jeez. That's like asking me. It's so hard to pick these things. I mean, it depends on the style. It depends the mood I'm in, you know?
Didn't we get asked this question last time?
I don't remember, but... No, we got asked about musicals, I think.
Right.
I like the importance of being earnest. If I'm in the mood to watch that kind of play, it always cracks me up. If it's well done.
There's a Tom Sawyer play I really like. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer as a play. That was really well done.
Okay.
And there's that one about... Never mind. Okay. Anyhow, are there any good places or sites to buy games used or new in bulk? I'm currently collecting, but I am still very new. I recommend highly that you don't buy in bulk. buy games that interest you.
Yeah.
I used to buy in bulk from eBay. Okay? I'm like, 20 games, and you get them, and there's a lot of garbage in there. There's a reason they're in bulk.
Things that are sold in bulk, be it movies, that when you get that packet of like 5 movies for $10. Well, that's because, one of those movies is good and one's okay, and the other 3 are bad and wouldn't sell by themselves. So they stick them in that box. You just get what you want. Pick and choose. Why not?
Did you see Kung Fury?
Yes.
I showed it to Z today.
We have seen it. It was glorious.
All right. Do you still think King of New York offers a slightly deeper experience, or have you come to find the original is more fun between King of New York and King of Tokyo?
The original is simpler to teach, so it hits the table more for me. But is it deeper? Slightly deeper is what they're saying? Yeah, the King of New York is slightly deeper because there's more game there. But the first one hits my table more because I can teach it more easily and get people into it more easily.
All right. Has Pandemic the Cure gotten better for you?
It got better.
You liked it a lot.
I talked about this. I talked about this already. I didn't I put it on my top 10 of the year, and I talked about that at that point. But anyway, from the first time I played it to like 3-4 plays in already, it had gotten much better. It was just my first 2 plays. I was like, I'm not sure, and they were right back to back. But then as I've played it more, yeah, it's a great game. I'm a huge fan of it.
What is your favorite post-apocalyptic theme board game?
How many are there?
There's not. Dead of Winter is technically one, right?
I don't like that one.
I like it. And Earth Reborn. I really enjoyed Earth Reborn.
I don't really like that one either very much. I don't know. I'm still waiting for my post-apocalyptic themed board game.
A card game.
Yeah, that's true.
You're the one tired. Why am I the one yawning?
That's true. I guess my favorite post-apocalyptic game then would be 51st State.
Oh, that's true. Well, I mean,
or Hiroshima Hex, right? Yeah.
Or The Convoy.
Yeah.
Any game in that universe is fair game.
That. I love that setting. Love it.
I'm not so big a fan of that movies. It gets tiresome. Although Mad Max was hilarious. they really need to make a game about the Fury Road. Oh.
That'd be a good game, too.
Yes, I know there's an older game about Mad Max style type thing, but they need to make a modern style game like that. What is the... Whoa, we just jumped down to the bottom again.
Oh, boy, wait, wow, how behind are we?
Oh, we're super far behind.
Okay, let's pick it up.
We'll never catch up. Okay.
Well, we got to do let's do quick fire questions here.
Did you keep Steam Torpedo in your collection? I did.
Good. Next.
Okay. I've been going to Gen Con for years. Are there any reasons I should switch to Origins? If you don't like the crowds, that's the best reason to switch to Origins. There's more chance to play, I think, at Origins than there is at Gen Con. Do you think the app integration will continue in board games, or is it already passing?
It'll continue.
No, it's going to continue. What do you think about Dice Masters? You?
I like it. Not as much as Tom, but I like it.
Are we still getting a video of Zier's, Jason, or Sam's game room? Well, I'm sure you'll see Sam soon enough.
You've seen my game room in Blender.
Your videos, right? And maybe you do a tour of it sometime, like show people your collection.
Well, at my point, at some point, I might do something like Tom did, where I will show off a few games and why I've kept them, that sort of thing. I just need to find a thematic tie-in to that because, well, I like my show to have a theme and not be random like Tom's.
What's your favorite time travel game? There actually isn't many good ones.
Yeah.
Or hardly any at all. I'd like to see a theme of it, but it's hard to do.
New Zealand. What's happening in New Zealand?
John says he's never seen us review a wooden game.
I literally have one going up in like 2 days. Right?
What do you mean by a wooden game? Like everything has to be wood? The whole game has to be wood?
Yes, I've done some. Haven't I done some?
Well, I mean, a lot of those older games that out of the box used to work with those games were like all wood. I reviewed.
In any case, in case I haven't done one, I literally will have one going up in like 2 days.
Well, I have not played Mysterium yet, which is an error on my part. Do you think you could use Dixit cards with the game?
Some Dixit cards, because the ones that come in the game are really, really busy. So the ones that are very clear in Dixit might rob it of some of that sort of, wow, there's so much going on, So it might rob it of its depth a little bit. It'd be interesting to experiment with that, though. I have not done it.
What's your favorite Chinese food and favorite Mexican beverage?
I do have a favorite Mexican beverage, actually.
Is it that apple soda?
No, it's a tamarind drink that they make. Comes in a bottle.
Okay.
And it's like a tamarind pop. And favorite Chinese food? I don't know.
General Tso's. I don't know. All right.
I just go for the really typical, like, fried rice kind
this
of
is a good one. I mean, what's your favorite board game to play outside? This is hard because in
Hive.
Florida... Hive?
Hive.
Oh, that's a good choice. Yeah, because he said he's going on a picnic. Yeah, in Florida, we have this wind it's almost never not windy here. Which is good, because we would die. Yeah, I know. No special than anyone else.
Okay, cool. Let's keep going.
I would play Yinch. Any game that has pieces that don't...
Yeah, but the board catches like air in Yinch or in any of those.
Okay, but if you have pieces on it, I mean, it has to be pretty strong.
Anyway, Hive is like a knock it out of the park kind of game.
I once had a playing card game where the playing cards were magnetic.
Wow.
And they stuck to the board. All right, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're going to review that. Yes, we're going to review that. Yes, we're going to review that. No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I'm going to do that. It's the 10th anniversary of Twilight Imperium. Do you think Fantasy Flight will do something with that? I'm going to say yes. If they're going to do something with that, it's going to happen this year. Not only are they going to do something with it, but they're going to have a spin-off game from Twilight Imperium. I'm making my weird predictions here.
All right,
they're going to have a spin-off game. It's not going to be a first-person shoot-up. We only have 10 seconds.
We have 10 seconds to what?
We're done. It's 4:30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I tell you, we're never going to catch up. Okay, predict the Spiel des Jahres winners.
I'm going to go with... they want me to predict which ones are going to win?
Yeah, no, are and you think should win. I'm going to say he's thinking...
I forget which ones they are. But
I'm going to say the one that is going to win is Machikoro, and I'm pretty happy with that pick. For the Kenner Spiel, I'm going to say that the winner is going to be Elysium, but I would pick Orleans. Actually,
Okay.
no, that Witch's Brew one might pull it off, though.
Okay, what I'm going to say is
It's not Witch's Brew.
Machikoro and Broom Service
Broom Service.
for the winners, and I would pick Elysium and...
Cold Express or the
Cold
game?
Express.
Not the game? Come on, the game.
Which game?
The game.
The game.
All right. Well, that's about it.
Oh, thanks, guys. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody's questions there, but that is the nature of the beast, sadly.
If we can find an internet connection, or if maybe you will meet us at Origins and you'll say, "Hey, I have I have my own connection with me." Maybe we'll do live stuff from there. But as for now, I don't think we're gonna have internet connection in the middle of the convention.
Yeah.
We could try, but I doubt it. Anyhow, Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I am Z Garcia.
Watch our channel this week. We just uploaded 30 videos today.
Wow.
That's a lot.